People always ask us, why do you backyard wrestle? The answer to this question is very simple, you see.
We love wrestling.
Period. We are ASPW. We're a group of friends aged 11 to 20. We're all like-minded individuals who have many things in common. The most significant of these similarities being that we love wrestling.
Most people say that backyard wrestling is not a sport because it's not a true athletic display of competition. It is, however, a form of entertainment that requires its performers to be well-trained, professional quality athletes. The matches are predetermined, and the storylines may feel scripted sometimes, but the moves they do and the emotions they feel are very real and quite a sight to behold.
We started wrestling with a mattress that we dragged out of a neighbor's garbage pile for bulk pickup, a crappy handheld digital camera, and a laptop to play our entrance music on. The mattress was soggy, damp, and smelled a little bit, but we covered it with a sheet and began wrestling on it that very day. We began filming on our first day of wrestling, not knowing what the future had in store. As for the laptop, it worked, and we thought it was great. As the days passed by, we became more and more dedicated, and we came up with a name, Alpha Semi-Pro Wrestling. Alpha meaning the highest or most dominant in the pecking order. Semi-Pro because although we're not professionally trained, we're very far from being a typical backyard wrestling promotion. Most of these backyard wrestling promotions look to hardcore weapons and brutal, bloody, career-shortening death matches. We look to use our expansive knowledge of the professional wrestling aspect of it. It's not about weapons and blood. It's about having a good time and putting on amazing shows for our fans, no matter how few or far between they may be.
After a few weeks on the mattress, we've come to realize that it wasn't going to cut it anymore. We need something that was going to be better, safer, and bigger than what we've been using. So we upgraded to a base because our skills were getting exponentially greater, if you want to call it that. And to perform and keep us more safe, we need a bigger and better surface. So with the help of Michael's father, Mario Vendet, we purchased materials to make our first ever Alpha Semi-Pro base. And this is consisted of layers of tires, sheets, plywood, and carpet, and padding on top of that to and for our protection. We upgraded our sound and camera system. Now we use 2 amplifiers, a microphone, and camera, well, that's given. And we have one for wrestlers' music. We now use a much more high quality camera to record our shows to make them better quality.
We immediately felt the change upon wrestling on the base. It was naturally stiffer than the mattress, and there was less bounce than we initially wished, but overall, it was a tremendous success as far as performance and safety goes. We were less sore after every match, and we were a lot safer and a lot less likely to hurt ourselves. We have since upgraded the base to include a second layer of tires and a bit more padding for the added shock absorption. We now have a crowd area off on the side of the base as well. The crowd usually consists of friends and family, and thankfully our friends, families, and peers are behind us 110% and come out to as many shows as they can and plan to keep coming for as long as we intend to keep wrestling here at ASPW.
Okay. As a whole, we're constantly trying to improve our surroundings, our skills. We study our tape for days, hold practices each week for like hours. We warm up before every show. We plan our moves carefully, so we don't get hurt. We don't want to end our future careers, possibly our lives, due to like careless mistakes and all that stuff. We take utmost care when practicing. We're sure not to overexert ourselves and always keep as clean as we can. We constantly stay hydrated and always help each other backstage.
Many people that think backyard wrestling is fake, well, the truth is most people who say they're incapable of coming to the ring and doing what we do, they think we wrestle on pillows, padding, and then no one ever gets hurt. That's not true at all. While there's padding, and padding can protect you from certain things, when you're being thrown off a scaffold or a ladder, padding is the least of your concern to keep yourself safe. We can sustain injuries, but we try to keep ourselves in the best physical condition possible.
Wrestling is an extremely creative outlet for the youth of today. It helps them to have a great time and do something positive with their spare time, because, there's not that many positive things out there aside from sports. clubs at school, but those are only so limited. It teaches the kids all kinds of useful character traits and reinforceable behaviors that aren't seen in a lot of aspects of society. It's therapeutic, really. It keeps you fit, it keeps you healthy through all the exercise, and it teaches you all kinds of knowledge about your body, and, you know, it teaches you limberness and flexibility. It teaches you teamwork, cooperation. It keeps you away from all the bad stuff, you know, drugs, all the negative influences of society, really. It relieves stress. It helps you forget all your problems at home. You know, if you have a bad day, go out and wrestle. You know, it takes away all your problems. It just puts you in this world of just, like, happiness, and that's what it does for us anyway. It helps with a lot of things. It helps with self-esteem issues. It can help you make friends. And every match, win or lose, you know, you go out there afterwards and you see everyone and they're all out there clapping and smiling and chanting your name, and you can't help but smile and feel happy, you know, knowing that you put on a good show, and it helps you, really. It's probably the greatest thing that's happened to me in my entire life.
Contrary to popular belief, backyard wrestling is indeed a sport. Just like any other sport, though, if you don't stretch, exercise, and practice before you perform, you are much more likely to get hurt. Backyard wrestling, however, has a negative stigma attached to it, and there are detractors from the aforementioned feelings and thoughts. They believe that backyard wrestling is a senseless show of testosterone, violence, and just pretty much bloodshed. Sadly, there are still people who would rather use the shock factor of backyard wrestling and professional wrestling instead of the entertainment aspect. I've been a wrestling fan for as long as I can remember, and I remember watching my first ever death match at the tender age of 11. My younger brother and I saw it on television and promised that no matter what we do, and no matter how far our career goes, we would never do something so stupid, worthless, and violent. ASPW holds true to that in a strong way. It is an alternative to senseless violence shown in some backyard wrestling promotions. We are trying to show, along with the fact that we love what we do, that backyard wrestling is not synonymous with senseless mayhem. We here at ASPW all have a dream that consists of attending a wrestling school and going professional. We focus on the more competitive side of professional wrestling, and would rather show a fan a great display of athleticism than bloody ourselves and maim each other. We have future careers to consider every time we step into that ring, but at the same time, we don't hold back too much. Because we know just what the fans like to see: full throttle, fast-paced, highly athletic professional wrestling. And more importantly, they come to have a good time and enjoy themselves.
I love wrestling with all my heart and soul, and I intend to do it as long as my body physically allows me, and as long as the fans come out there every time I go out there and I get to see them clapping and cheering, I'm going to keep doing it. Just because I love wrestling. We were doubted by nearly everyone from day one. From a few skeptical friends and family members to teachers at school, everyone thought it was just a silly pipe dream with no purpose or direction. But little did they know, we were dedicated. We proved ourselves to all of them. We put our minds to it. We put our time, effort, and money into this project to make it our own living, breathing, striving masterpiece.